Let's get straight into it. The Australia 491 visa in 2025 isn't what it used to be, and that's both a good and a frustrating thing. On paper, the 491 visa looks like a solid deal. It's a skilled work regional visa that gives you 5 years in Australia, work rights, a pathway to permanent residency after 3 years, and a chance to live outside the usual Sydney-Melbourne stress bubble. But in 2025, it's turned into a complex dance of shifting trends, strange quotas, and some good old regional politics. So, let's unpack the real story, the trends, the truths, the traps, and yes, a few tips that might save your sanity. 1. The regional reality check. Let's begin with the name itself, regional. That used to mean Darwin or Tasmania if you're brave. But now, the term regional includes cities like Adelaide, Perth, and even parts of Queensland's Sunshine Coast, which basically means Australia has stretched the definition of regional like a dodgy real estate ad, calling a one-bedroom flat spacious. But here's the real twist. Some of these regions are booming and others, bleeding population, jobs, and infrastructure. The visa may be the same, but where you land will determine your fate. 2. Demand has outrun logic. In 2025, the demand for the 491 visa has exploded. Why? Because the Subclass 189, the golden ticket, is harder to get than front-row Taylor Swift tickets. The 190 state visa is still popular, but more competitive than a kid's talent show judged by tiger mums. So, the 491? It's become the fallback, the plan B that's quietly become plan A for thousands of hopefuls, and the states know this. They've jacked up their criteria, added more hoops, and changed the rules mid-game like a Monopoly player flipping the board. Want sponsorship? Better be living there, working there, studied there, volunteered to clean the local council office every Friday. Okay, not quite, but you get the idea. 3. Big winners. Northern Territory, Tasmania, and South Australia. Let's talk numbers without boring you. In 2025, Tasmania, the Northern Territory, and South Australia have shown some of the highest approval rates for this visa because they desperately need people, and they're not shy about it. Tasmania, for example, continues to punch above its weight. Smaller population, lots of transparency, and they love long-term commitment. If you've studied or worked there, your odds are strong. Northern Territory? If you've ever considered living in Darwin or Alice Springs, now's your moment. It's remote, yes, but it also means less competition. They're approving nearly half of all EOIs they get if you can prove you're serious about staying. South Australia? They're smart. Adelaide is regional enough to qualify, but urban enough to feel like you're not in exile. And they've set up different streams to cater to graduates, skilled workers, and even business people. So yeah, the underdogs are winning. 4. Not-so-hot spots, New South Wales and Victoria. Now here's the tea. New South Wales has the most demand, hands down. It gets the most EOIs by far, but the approval rate, a fraction of that. Unless you've already been living and working in regional New South Wales for at least a year, don't hold your breath. And Victoria, beautiful place, great coffee, and a frustratingly selective 491 process. If you're offshore, good luck. Onshore and working in a priority occupation. Still not guaranteed, and their process is so slow. 5. Offshore applicants, not the favorite child. Let's address the elephant in the room, offshore applicants. Look, in theory, the 491 visa should welcome skilled migrants regardless of where they're living. In practice, if you're not already onshore in 2025, most states are treating you like the cousin who shows up uninvited to Christmas dinner. That doesn't mean you can't get invited, but you'll need strong ties, top-tier experience, and ideally a job offer from a regional employer who's willing to sponsor you. The bottom line, if you're offshore, your best bet is either Northern Territory or Tasmania, or applying from a position of absolute strength, in-demand job, fluent English, and bonus points for already working remotely for an Aussie company. 6. Occupations that are actually getting invited. Let's move away from general trends and talk occupations. In 2025, here's what we're seeing. Healthcare roles. Nurses, aged care workers, mental health professionals are always in demand. If you're in this sector, you've got leverage. Construction and trades like electricians, plumbers, bricklayers. Regional Australia can't build fast enough. Teaching, especially early childhood, and STEM-related secondary school teachers. Agriculture and environmental roles are surprisingly gaining traction, especially in Tasmania and parts of Queensland. Tech roles hit or miss. Some regions are keen, others already overloaded. If your occupation isn't on the hot list, it doesn't mean you're out of the game, but you may need to show additional commitment. Think regional study, local work experience, or employer connections. 7. Invitation rounds are all over the place. Another fun fact. Invitation rounds in 2025 are inconsistent. Some states do monthly rounds, others do them quarterly, and then there are a few who go with the "we'll let you know when we feel like it" strategy. This unpredictability means many applicants are in limbo. You might meet every requirement, lodge a perfect application, and wait 6 months without a whisper. Or you might get invited in 2 weeks. There's no formula, no pattern, just patience and pain. 8. The 491 versus 190 dilemma. Here's a question many people ask. Should I go for the 491 or wait for the 190? And the answer is, depends how allergic you are to risk and regional life. The 190 visa is permanent, with no strings attached. But the bar is higher, the competition steeper, and the approval rates is declining in most major states. The 491, on the other hand, it is a gamble. You move to a regional area, you commit to living and working there for 3 years. Then you apply for the 191 PR. Most people who do this successfully get their PR, but that "most" comes with caveats. You have to meet income thresholds, you have to stay regional, and you have to not suddenly hate your life in the outback and run back to Melbourne. If you're willing to play the long game, the 491 is your ticket, but it's not for everyone. 9. The stay or sprint strategy. Here's something clever we've seen in 2025. Some applicants are deliberately targeting short-term regional jobs, say in Mildura or Launceston, to lock in their visa and then meet the PR requirements quickly. They treat it like a 3-year challenge. Find a job, stick it out, hit the income threshold, apply for the 191 PR as soon as possible, then boom, you're free to move wherever. It's not the romantic version of migration, but it's practical, legal, and strategic. The 491 is a tool and not a shortcut, and this year, the 491 visa is still a solid pathway. If you treat it as a calculated move and a stepping stone, it works. If you treat it like a way to cheat the system and land in Australia quickly, it might backfire. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments. Are you planning to apply for the 491 visa this year? What's your target state and why? Let's help each other out with honest tips and real experience. See you in the next video.